Hello and welcome to a Talmud Israeli production. Today we'll review the highlights of this week's course of Daf Yomi study, Masechet Bava Kamma, pages 52 through 58, Nun Bet through Nun Chet. 52. Kisau Harishon. If there was a hole in the ground, which is dangerous and in which people can get hurt, and the first person who passes by who's affiliated with this hole covers the hole with some kind of a covering, and the second participant in this hole, he goes by and he notices that it's uncovered. Now, why was it uncovered? Rashi explains, Shehit Liya, it could be that it got wormy, Vinishbar Kisui, and the cover was destroyed, and now the open area is exposed, and it's a dangerous thing. Velo Kisau Hasheni, and the second guy doesn't cover it, Chayav. The second guy is liable. So, what matters is that if you notice the danger exists and you don't act on it and you have a responsibility towards acting on it, then you will pay the price. Nun Gimel, 53. Tanya, shor shedachaf et chaveiro labor. If one ox pushes another ox into the pit, Baal hashor chayav, Baal habor patur. The owner of the ox is obligated to pay. The owner of the pit is not obligated to pay. So now there are two factors in play. There's the dangerous ox, and there's the fact there's a hole in the ground. And according to the first opinion of this Braita, we're going to hold accountable the owner of the ox that acted aggressively. Rabbi Natan, however, says, Bal hashur mishalem mechza, or Bal habor mishalem mechza, that no, we split the obligation, the financial obligation to make restitution. Half goes on the owner of the ox, and half goes on the owner of the pit. Nun Dalet, 54. Echad shur, vechad kol behema, whether it's an ox or any other animal, nefilat lenefilat habor, the rule is the same with regard to it having fallen into a pit. Ula hafrashat har Sinai, or for that matter, keeping animals away from Mount Sinai during the revelation, during Ma'amad har Sinai, the Decalogue, the giving of the Ten Commandments. It was supposed to be that all the animals were kept away from, cordoned off from Mount Sinai. It doesn't matter what type of animal it was. Ula tashlume kefel, and it doesn't matter what kind of animal it is for the payment of the double if you get caught stealing. Ula hashavat aveda, or for that matter, when it comes to the return of a lost article, lost animal. Ula frika, and for the purposes of unloading the weight, the burden upon an animal that you find along the way. Lachasima, for muzzling an animal while it is working in the field. It is forbidden for all animals, despite whatever it might say in Torah, identifying a specific animal. All animals are included in this. Lekilayim, for mixed breeding, cross-breeding of animals, it doesn't matter what kind. Ula Shabbat, and for not working your animal, it doesn't matter what species it is, you can't work an animal on Shabbat. V'chein chayav oaf, and not only it refers to behema, which is domesticated animal, but even refers to chaya, non-domesticated animal, even oaf, birds. Im kain, if so, lama ne'emar shorach hamor. So why does the Torah then bother to say ox or donkey in reference to some of these biblical laws? Rather, the Torah was speaking in the most common occurrence. It's not that the laws only apply to shor and chamor, it's just that these are the most common cases of application of the law, so it says shor and chamor. 55. There are four things that if you do them, you're exempt from the laws of man. You have no financial obligation in a court of law. However, in God's eyes, you are guilty and you're going to pay the price. And what are the four things? If you make a breach in the wall in front of your fellow's animal, so that this animal, which was walled in and could not escape and was protected from being let loose and escaping, so now you let it go. The owner, your friend, your colleague suffered a loss as a result of your action. Well, the court can't punish you, but God knows what you did wrong. Or you bend the standing grain of your fellow in the direction of a fire, so that now it catches fire and gets destroyed. Or you hire false witnesses to testify fraudulently about something. Or you know testimony, honest and truthful testimony, that would be beneficial to your fellow, but you neglect to do it, or you deliberately don't do it. God will pay you back. Well, God will punish you for your actions or your inactions. Nun Vav. 56. Hanoten sam hamavet bifnei bemat chavero. If you put a poison, a toxin, in front of the animal of your fellow, and it drinks the toxin and dies, you are exempt in the laws of man. We can't sue you and punish you for it. However, in God's eyes, we know you did wrong. You'll pay the price. Or if you give a fire over to a mentally incompetent person like a deaf mute or a deranged person or a minor, and then terrible things break loose, fire, and horrible things happen, you're exempt from the laws of man. But in Dinei Shamayim, you are guilty. Nun Zayin, 57. Hatoin Tanat Ganav Ba'aveda. Mishlem Tashtumei Kefil. If you find a lost article, and then it's gone from you, and you're asserting, well, it was stolen. But in fact, it wasn't stolen by another person. You just misappropriated it for yourself. You liked the item, the item that you found, and instead of giving it back to the owner, you claimed, oh, it was stolen off of me, but really you still have it. And we find that you really did that. We have proof of it. You pay the double, like any act of theft. Nun Chet, 58. On this daf, we address the important Talmudic concept of techilato b'pshiyah v'sofo be'ones. That sometimes one's action begins with pshiyah, with inappropriate behavior. An action for which you would be held responsible and liable if things proceeded according to the path that you led them on. However, what happens if you began on a guilty path, Vesofo b'onis, but the action was not completed by your volition, but rather it happened in a coerced manner, beyond your control. But you got the ball rolling in a bad way. So do we hold you accountable and make you guilty for a case of tchilato b'pshiyah v'sofa b'ones, or do we say that because it ended in circumstances beyond your control that you're not held accountable? And the answer is it's a machloket. It was a machloket throughout the Talmud that isn't ever fully resolved. Everyone have a great week.